Welcome to Plain English, the podcast that goes at the right speed for English language learners. Listen now and read the transcript online at plainenglish.com. Now, here's Jeff, your host for today's episode.
The royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was one for the ages. Welcome to Plain English, the podcast that goes at just the right speed for English learners. Today is Thursday, May 24th, 2018. On today's episode, I'll give you all the details of Saturday's royal wedding. And at the end of the program, I'll show you how to use the English phrase for the ages. Before we start, I want to share some exciting news about the website. I spent a long time last Saturday redesigning the website, and I think it looks really good. It's a lot easier to navigate and to see the most recent stories. You can also explore the categories that you find most interesting. I figured that since we're coming up on the 50th episode of Plain English, we're due for a little bit of a makeover on the website. So check out the homepage at plainenglish.com. And if you'd like to read the transcript as you listen to this episode, just go to plainenglish.com/49, plainenglish.com/49 to see the full transcript. And don't worry, the Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, and French translations are all still there, just like before. It was the biggest wedding of the year. Prince Harry, the grandson of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II, married the American actress Meghan Markle in a royal ceremony for the ages last Saturday at Windsor Castle in England. The Queen gave Prince Harry, who is 33 years old, the title Duke of Sussex on the morning of the wedding. A duke is a title given to a male in the British royal family, usually upon his marriage, and Sussex is a part of England. It's not an official job, and it carries no real duties. The last person to hold this title died in 1843. But that will be his official royal title for life. He was also given 2 additional secondary titles for good measure. As his new wife, Ms. Markle now has the title Duchess of Sussex. The wedding ceremony was officiated by the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is the leader of the Church of England, the Reverend Michael Curry, an American and leader of the Episcopal Church, also gave an address at the wedding. It was a break with tradition, since royal weddings usually feature only senior members of the Church of England in official roles. The best man was Prince Harry's brother, Prince William. Ms. Markle opted to have a handful of friends with her in lieu of one single maid of honor. Prince Harry was dressed in his traditional military uniform, but was sporting his trademark red beard. There had been some speculation that he might shave it off for the ceremony, as tradition would dictate, but it turns out that he kept the royal whiskers intact. The bride wore a dress from Givenchy, a French brand, but it was designed by Claire Waite Keller, a British designer who has served as the head of 3 influential fashion houses. Meghan's ring is made from Welsh gold, while Harry's is platinum. When Harry first saw his bride at the altar, he said to her, in an unscripted moment, "You look amazing." The wedding had some pretty good star power, too. Oprah Winfrey, Elton John, George Clooney, David Beckham, and other celebrities were there. Ms. Markle's most recent role on screen was on the TV show Suits, and many of her castmates were there. Patrick J. Adams, her husband on the show, Sarah Rafferty, her best friend on the show, and other castmates Gabriel Macht, Gina Torres, and Abigail Spencer were all there. After the wedding, the two hopped into the Ascot-Landau state carriage, which was built for the royal family in 1880. It was drawn by 4 white horses. The newlyweds then proceeded down a 2.5-mile road known as the Long Walk for their procession, waving to the crowd from their open-air carriage. Over 100,000 people lined the streets to wish them well. The weather, of course, was perfect. The ceremony, which was at noon in the UK, was shown on television networks around the world and was streamed live on the royal family's YouTube channel. Ms. Markle went to high school in Los Angeles, and students from her alma mater, the all-girls Immaculate Heart High School in Hollywood, arrived super early in the morning to watch. The wedding was at 4 a.m. in LA. The girls gathered in the high school gym in pajamas with blankets and pillows to watch the early morning ceremony. The Royal Mint, the agency that prints the money in the United Kingdom, created a special £5 coin showing the new Duke and Duchess, and the Royal Mail issued a commemorative postage stamp. Speaking of the mint, weddings are expensive these days. The average British wedding costs £25,000 to £30,000, or about $40,000 US. The royal wedding cost £32 million. The cake was a lemon sponge cake covered with buttercream and decorated with fresh flowers. Though he is the grandson to the Queen, the new Duke of Sussex is actually 6th in the line of succession to the crown. His father, Prince Charles, will become king when Queen Elizabeth dies. Next in line are Prince William, Harry's brother, and all 3 of Prince William's children, the youngest of whom was born in April this year, so it's highly unlikely that Harry will become King of England. The new Duchess of Sussex has given up her acting career and will focus on supporting the royal family and supporting in charitable causes. She might have to give up her American citizenship due to potential tax complications. I want to say hi to Esteban, who is listening in Mexico. Esteban is from the state of Hidalgo, which he says is the home of the best barbacoa in Mexico. I think that's a claim that I will need to investigate personally myself the next time I am in Mexico. Anyway, Esteban says he listens to the episodes multiple times until he doesn't need the transcripts any longer. Good for you, Esteban. That takes dedication, but I know your efforts will pay off. Thanks for saying hi, and I bet in a few months you won't need the transcripts even the first time around. If you would like to say hi, the best way to do so is via Twitter or Facebook. We are at Plain English Pod on both of those sites. Today's phrase is for the ages. It was a wedding for the ages. That means it was a wedding that will be remembered for a long time. You can use for the ages to refer to anything that is especially memorable or noteworthy. There are a couple of ways to use this. You can say, like I did, that it was a wedding for the ages, or you can simply say, that was one for the ages. So you can either specify the event or the thing that will last, in this case the wedding, or just leave it unsaid or implied, as in one for the ages. I'll give you a few examples. In the 2017 Super Bowl, the championship game in American football, the New England Patriots were losing by the score of 28-3 in the second half of the game. But they tied it in the fourth quarter and won the game in overtime 34-28. It was a comeback for the ages. People will be talking about that game, but especially how the Patriots came back from losing so badly to win. That was one for the ages. It will be remembered for a long time. You can say a party was one for the ages if it was especially memorable. A winter storm could be one for the ages. The worst winter storm I ever experienced was in 2011. We got 20 inches of snow, and cars were stranded on the streets for days. Nobody went to work. You couldn't get anywhere. That storm was one for the ages. I'll never forget it. Thanks to all of you for listening to Plain English. Don't forget to check out the website plainenglish.com, which has the transcripts for every episode and has a brand new look. If you are new to the program, you can explore old episodes by category. Just don't judge me too badly on the very early ones. We've definitely improved since then. We'll be back with episode 50 on Monday, and a really incredible story of an airline pilot who landed a plane after the windshield broke at an altitude of 32,000 feet. It's a great story, and you won't want to miss it. See you then.